So what's good, guys? Trying to figure out what I actually have showing. So a lot has happened in the last few days. Um, in my opinion, um, where to begin, right? So here I was bouncing around in different places online, and some things were said that I just completely and utterly disagree with. I mean, at times it was grotesque and rather repulsive. So I'm not going to call anyone out by name, but they know who they are. And it was more than one. So that was why I really had to nip this in the bud. So different things at different times completely were said, but they mimicked each other. And at the time when I had first heard it, I was rather broadsided by it. It was the first I had ever heard of it. I thought it was ludicrous then when I first heard of it. Because I dove in a little bit, and it was just, it didn't make any sense to me as to how or why. Excuse me. And this is in regards to the Reggie Middleton patent verse Digibyte, and I mean, it just so the the first time I heard it, it was brought to me that well maybe we'll bring him on and this and that, and I was all in favor of that because many of us had questions because it was brought to us as it was some sort of a royalty and this and that, and well, how are we going to rewrite code in order to pay a royalty? And and then because it was such a broad brush that was painted over, and other people were speaking of Telegram and this sort of stuff, and it's all nonsense. It's all bullshit. Even to the other person who stated that's complete and utter bullshit. I just asked Reggie on Twitter for everyone to see, and in such a broad brush of the way it was brought to many of us within the community, in that his response basically said it all. So it's still out there on Twitter, so for everyone to go see. But the misinformation, in both times it was, oh, we'll bring him on and ask away. Well, the second time I had enough. I was rather pissed off, really, by this person to say such a thing and then back it up by, well, I'll just get Reggie on. I said, great. I'd love to ask the man a few questions. Again, nothing happened. But back to the first time that it was mentioned, I thought that it would be a better idea to then wait and who are we going to get who's versed in order to speak with the man? To be able to ask these specific questions as far as where's the infringement? anywhere. I mean, most of us don't get it. We don't understand. Now, Reggie's response to me was to read the patent. And I encourage everyone from this point going forward to go and read that patent. I promised Reggie that I would. And Tuesday, I'm going to have my attorneys read that patent to make sure that what I want to build, that I am not going to infringe upon his patent. So, and it's obvious that these other people don't understand that either. To make such claims and share this, because how many times, it was the second time that I had heard such things. So I had to know, I was getting tired of waiting. I wanted someone else to represent and to articulate, to find out the answers to these different questions. And, weeks went by. I grew tired of waiting. I want to know for my damn self. I mean, and then here again, the second time I just heard this bullshit from someone completely different. Just complete misinformation. It's bullshit. Go back and read the Twitter. So, so anyway, that's over and done with. I just, that just blew my mind. That, why hasn't this been brought out by anyone else? And really, because there's no there. There's nothing there. The man just stated that. So, but I got rather pissed off because of this. And I've been waiting for someone to ask these questions. So let's find out. So yeah, the other night, when basically, some would see it as a threat, I'll just bring him on now and ask away. Fuck it. But yeah, I got a few questions of my own. There's some shit I'm trying to build in crypto. I would like to know a few answers. Well, first off, where did all this stem from? But like I said, it's all bullshit. Falls flat. So, FUD is squashed. But, it was really upsetting. And then to be said, told, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of nothing that fucking bleeds. I'll say it that way. But, if you don't know, and you're just making bold claims, stop doing that. Go read the patent. That's what I'm about to do. That's what my attorneys are about to do. The other thing that really pissed me off over there was, and I just completely and utterly disagree. I just do. It was the maximalist view that we've all heard, right? My coin is the ultimate coin. That's great. I'm happy for you, but it was just another cheerleading session. I did not want to go there and to start saying different things in front of an audience of people for this person. That was not my objective. But I completely disagree with the statements that were said. I mean, to say that Digibyte is centralized because of one man's actions or tweets is ludicrous. I mean, and frankly, in Litecoin, even, why you want to throw stones in a glass house? I mean, really? But here again, I didn't want to go there. I don't see that as centralization. On either side, Litecoin or Digibyte, both creators can walk away and it would still continue to run right now. And to try to say that that is a direct reflection of price is rather naive. So yeah, it kind of pissed me off that you would want to throw stones in a glass house. Just saying. So, a few other things, right? Like, let's go take a look at price. Since price is where these people look at. They just see. That's all that they see is price. So let's dive in, right? And I explain this as well. Like, let's just go to Litecoin. Litecoin all, right? So with Litecoin, let's say January 1st, 2017. Where were you back then, right? Where were you in January 2017? Because I was here, right? Roughly $4, January 2017. Might have been like $3, I remember. Maybe it was $4 for Litecoin, right? And do you remember Litecoin when Litecoin was 8 cents? I do. So Litecoin from $4 to, let's say, December 31st. Where is it? All right, to $300. So from $4 to $300 is a 75x. 75 times. That's what happened in that bull market, right? Now let's take this one, right? Where was the low before this run? What, $45, $40, somewhere in there as an average. I mean, yeah, one could go back here, right? But let's just say, for instance, let's say at the beginning before that bull run. So what is that? $35. $35 till the peak. $389. So from 35 to 350 would be a 10x. 10x, not bad. So that's a 10x. So we got a 75x and a 10x. Now let's go take a look at Digibyte, since we're so focused on price and Digibyte's only at 1 cent, right? See if your little heart can dig this. Right? All right, same thing. January 1st, Digibyte was at 0.00025. 3 zeros, 25. January 1st. Where is it? That's as close as I can get. January 2nd. But January 1st, the price was at 0.00025. Now let's go to December 31st. right? Where is December? December 31st, it touched 7 cents. 7 cents. High shows 14 cents, but let's just say 7 cents. So from 0.00025 to 7 cents is a 280x compared to your 75x to start, right? Now let's take this. Before that bump up, right? So I believe it was back here. So we're at what? 2 cents, something like that. I remember buying back here at like 0.00035. Maybe I should do that instead. But let's just stay with where we were, right about there, I want to say. So what is that? 2 cents. To 20 cents. Is that right? So, I mean, to say that my coin is the ultimate coin, as far as a maximalist point of view, I really don't get it. Somewhere in here. 2 cents to 20 cents. But dig this. Let's take the absolute low during that whole channel. I was in at 0.00035. Right here, touch 0.00244. I was at 0.00235. So my little 0.0035, and what date was that? March 9th. So I'll remember that, March 9th. All the way to here. Just say 18 cents, not 20 cents. Because we don't work at an exchange. Unlike, some other founders, right? I mean, like I said, you're throwing stones in a glass house at that point. So, I mean, even though I had a dream that Jared did that, that he actually filled out an application and went to work at like Gemini or something. That would just be freaking hilarious. I would do it just to be a dick if I was Jared. But anyway, right? Let's just say to 18 cents. 18 cents from 0.00035 is a 51x. And what was that, March 9th? 51x. So just because I wasn't correct, let's go back to Litecoin just to go take a peek, right? I mean, because it's about the data, isn't it? About the data. So the absolute low, where was March 9th? March 9th was actually higher. So let's actually take the all-time low. At what was that? Just say $25. 25 till its peak. At what? Come on. $25 to $375. Alexa, 375 divided by 25.
375 divided by 25 is 15.
So 15x compared to from its all-time low during that whole bear market. Not bad, but that's from its all-time low compared to a 51x. So, this is just data, right? My coin is the ultimate coin. Now here again, both sides of, or rather all three sides of the coin here, right? So like right now, Litecoin, I give it to you. You have more, volume as far as dollars going through it. And currently it's at $4.48 billion going through it, with $58.23 million actual on-chain volume, compared to that of Digibyte of $174 million reported, but only $1.18 million on-chain. But the thing I want you to realize is that, when looking at stuff like this, okay, think about, let me share this screen. Go here with you. Let me stop screen there. Share screen to this tab. All right. So here's usdebtclock.org, right? And what's going to happen in the future, which not a lot of people are discussing, right? Because 2017 was when Litecoin proved itself as to what it could do. It's exactly what I used. It works. What you fail to realize is something real important here, is that, yes, Litecoin worked and is everywhere. It is where Digibyte is a fork of that of Litecoin. And Litecoin is a fork of Bitcoin. But the moment that this comes into play, right? Because look at the Satoshi Genesis block. What did Satoshi actually write about the banks, right? And on that day, what do you think's going to happen? Well, in that instance, question this. What's going to happen when those blocks fill up again? When the blocks actually fill up on Litecoin because of such a mad dash, there's Digibyte with the ability to scale, with over 280,000 transactions a second. So to want to just dismiss because it's 1 cent is rather naive yet again, because it works. Just like Litecoin, it works. And Litecoin is going to do well in this next run up. But my thing is that, well, when those blocks fill up for Litecoin, then what? And here's the other thing that most people don't realize with Digibyte is that, anyone who accepts Bitcoin and Litecoin with about 5 minutes worth of code can immediately accept and transact in Digibyte. So, to anyone in Digibyte who wants to put FUD on Litecoin, or anyone in Litecoin who wants to put FUD on Digibyte, I think you I think the future will show you something completely different. Because Litecoin, like that of Bitcoin, paved the way for Digibyte. It is the backbone of what Digibyte runs on. SHA-256 and script or script. So to dismiss one or the other is really naive. Like I said, Litecoin paved the way, and that's great. But at which point, when this happens with the everything bubble that we're all looking at, from the inverse bond yield curves to, money printer go burr, at that point, what is the solution that can scale? On chain that can scale. Because I'm not a fan of Lightning Network at all. At all. I mean, at that point, what's the point of having a blockchain if it's not on chain? So to just discredit one or the other, I think is rather naive. And that's why, yet again, to throw stones in a glass house, I think is rather, I'm not even going to say naive. I'm going to just call it fucking stupid. So yeah, you pissed me off the other night, but I respected your platform. Anyway, I completely disagree with your outlook. I'm not saying Digibyte is better. I'm saying nothing else. I don't see another scalable solution for when this mad dash of people who are just trying to preserve their wealth, because the dollar is worthless at this point. When that happens, what is that going to do to crypto? Throw price out the window. How's the code going to work? And a lot of people also don't realize that Digibyte is the longest chain. It has blocks every 15 seconds. Yeah, that of Litecoin, it's been around longer. Has not shut down. Same thing. I agree. But there are a lot of other blockchains are going to have issues in the future when they reach certain points. There are going to be different points where they're going to reach critical syntax errors. Digibyte has already worked the code out years into the future. With some chains, it will depend upon how they go about fixing it as to how that will work in the future. Now for Digibyte, we even have our own testnet now. We can implement the code on the testnet to test it out before it becomes part of the code. That's in version 8.22, which is over 98% complete now. So, who else has a testnet? Who else has 5 mining algorithms to combat a 51% attack? Who else has AutoCrypt? Or, no, I'm sorry, not AutoCrypt. Who else has like DigiShield? other than the other blockchains that Digibyte helped fix, right? Who have a much higher valuation as far as price and market cap, but because that was another thing I tried to correct, and that, like that of Doge. Doge was dead. It was Digibyte that came in to solve that issue, to stop people from being able to jump from mining pool to mining pool and from coin to coin. That was a problem. That was a big problem early on. But yeah, Doge was dead. So, and how these coins with an infinite supply, I mean, that was precisely the joke of Doge. I had to, I guess, state it again, that the joke of Doge, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a direct poke at the Federal Reserve because of the infinite supply. That was the joke of it. A lot of other people have come even to me and said, well, Doge can do this and Doge can do that. That's great. Where is it? Do it. It can do it. Where is it? Do it. Crickets. And just like, their fanboy coming out saying, well, we want to do this and do that and make Doge do this. So basically, you want to take Doge back to formula. You just want to fork Doge. Or why don't you just use Digibyte? At which point, it makes much more sense for everything that you want to accomplish. So that part I don't get. And especially with someone speaking so deeply of them, I think that they would have done the research to find that actually Digibyte helped fix them, along with many other crypto, many other forks of that of Bitcoin. So if Digibyte fixed all these other chains, why wouldn't you look at Digibyte? I just don't get it. I mean, when everyone says to do your own due diligence, to do your own research, to dive in. Well, when you first find Bitcoin, don't you want to know? Because all of these other people, these talking heads, right? They say, oh, well, you can just fork Bitcoin and create more coins. That's bullshit. You can create another chain, but you are never going to create more Bitcoin. That's not the way that this works. They did not get that. They never did. And now they're cheerleaders for Bitcoin. Happy for you. I'm glad you finally saw the light. But, for those people who just found Bitcoin, and I think that they should do a little more research to find out what Bitcoin has forked, the different forks of Bitcoin, and the different innovations that have been built since. I mean, there have been many different crypto that have come from Bitcoin. The innovation has advanced drastically. And, to go from where we came from, like that of Bitcoin, where it was more of a libertarian movement, and then the anarchist movement, right? To go from that to big business and corporate, coming in, calling the shots, trying to make deals, big money. Now, laws and regulations. This was never about that. So, I don't mean to blast y'all's ears off so much here, right now, but do a little more digging and diving. Right now in a bear market is the time to research, to learn, and stop spreading FUD. And stop throwing stones in a glass house. Because really, when this happens, when the everything bubble pops, then what? Because really, then what? So yeah, Digibyte is my long-term play. I hold a vast... I hold over 20 different crypto in a portfolio. But when I take profit from others, I put that in a Digibyte. So, and, if your coin 10x's, right? Even Litecoin. Like there was another gentleman who was speaking there the other night. And to that gentleman, I would say, look, when your coin 10x's, take profit. Just hold that off on the side and buy back in later. So not advice in any way, shape, or form, but that's what I do. When something goes ballistic and crazy in price and 10x's, take your capital investment back out of that. Then it's just house money. That's why I love picking up deals. I see deals all over the place. I have limit buy orders all over the place. But I would, yes, over the long term, the buy and hold strategy will work well. But at the same time, I don't trade with more than 50% of my portfolio. I learned a valuable lesson there, like with that of Populous. And 25 Ethereum went into the Populous ICO. That was the minimum. And that's what I put, was 25 Ethereum into the Populous ICO, which was like an average buy-in somewhere around 25 cents. It went to $3. Dude, I killed it. I nailed it. I killed it. And I did. I hit a home run. I sold it 100% position, only to watch it go all the way to $86. So you tell me. I learned a valuable lesson there. It was costly. But that's why I don't ever sell a full position, because you never know. In selling into a bull market, what I've learned over the years now is to sell maybe 10% of a position, then another 10, then another 10, or a 20% position. Then that gives you several times to be able to take profit into a bull market. So, but yeah, when your coin goes up like that, the hardest thing in this world to do is to sell. So, but anyway, I'm diving off topic. I wanted to stay more concise on this because I was really upset the other night. It was the second time I heard a bunch of bullshit, and I got tired of waiting. So I went straight to the horse's mouth. I got the answer. And it's all bullshit. It's all FUD. So stop spreading FUD and stop throwing stones in a glass house. So anyway, let's see. Where is this? No. So anyway, look, y'all be cool. Go make it a day.